A very good morning to all the teachers, dignitaries, and my dear colleagues. I am Dr. Subho Upadhyay, currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electrical Engineering, Dayalbagh Education Institute, Agra. The topic of my presentation is fuzzy logic. Logic means perception to solve certain problem, and fuzzy is the perception which is being developed by different persons. It is the variability in taking the decision. Now, the Boolean logic that is most common in our era, we can let us take an example to use a Boolean logic. There is a switchboard, and there are a large number of switches. If we switch a particular switch, then what will happen? A fan may start to rotate, or a bulb may glow, and when we switch it off, it will the fan will start to slow down and finally stops. Similarly, the bulb will also switched off, turned off. So what is the logic here? Is it Boolean logic? Yes, certainly it is. Now we can take another example. An apple. Apple, which is in our mind, the shape of apple. When we are told or we are going to market to purchase a kg of apple from the vendor, what is in our mind before reaching the vendor's place? An apple of a particular shape, particular size, particular color, of a taste. It should be a proper taste. But when we reach the vendors, it may not be always true to find a similar kind of apple from the vendor. Now, if we apply the Boolean logic, that is either the statement will be true or false, there may be a possibility that we cannot purchase an apple, any apple for that matter. Then the statement will not be valid. So what will happen? We have to select the apples which are near to the truth of the apple which is in our mind. That is the degree of truth or degree of belongingness. Now we have discussed these two important points, that is bivalent system and multivalent system. Bivalent system uses Boolean logic to solve the problems that can be either true or false. Multivalent system can be the statement can be true or false, or degree of membership or degree of truth, that is the degree for which the apple available from the vendor is related to the apple which is in our mind. What degree it is related, that is important. Now, bivalent system uses Boolean logic, and multivalent system or the fuzzy systems uses multivalent logic. Now, from the content, we will discuss about what is a fuzzy logic, realizing a fuzzy set, and its application that we will discuss here. Now, if we talk about a process to select a particular type of systems to solve the problems. Now, if we make a graph between complexity and precision, that is, if the system will be very much complex, the precision will be low. And if we want a system to be very high of precision, the complexity needs to be very small. We use mathematical equations to solve certain problems. In a mathematical equation, the number of variables is low. Hence, we are able to achieve high precise output. Here the complexity is less. If the complexity is more, that is in a real world application, the complexity will be, in most of the conditions, the complexity will be very large. That is, the number of variables will be very large. So in such conditions, fuzzy logic is used. And in between, ANN type of or regression based techniques will be used in between. That is model free methods. Now, if we focus our thinking about fuzzy systems, since the complexity is very large in a real world application, we can use fuzzy systems for that matter. The definition we can see, the closer one looks at a real world problem, the fuzzier becomes its solution, from Dr. Elejade in 1973. He was one of the pioneers. He had told he had given definition of fuzzy logic, that is, as the complexity of system increases, it becomes more difficult and eventually impossible to make a precise statement. That is a type of apple, its shape and size. It is very difficult to make a, the statement will be very large, and if the statement or the statement of the problem will be very large, it will be much more complex, and the system cannot use to design mathematical equations directly to solve the problem. So eventually we'll arrive at a point of complexity where the fuzzy logic based method born humans is the only way to get into the at the problem, by Professor Elejade. Now we can see if a set of positive integers less than 20 and more than 15. In such conditions, 16, 17, 18 and 19 are the elements for which the membership value is maximum, that is 1. It is completely related because the elements from between 15 and 20 are 16, 17, 18 and 19. Their membership value is 1. But we apply the same problem if we define a statement in another way, that is a set of positive integers around 18. That means 17, 19, 20, its membership value will change, but it depends on perception. If it depends on perception, that is it can vary from person to person. That is, the 17 and 18 are much more closer to 18. That's why its membership value is high. That is, it is much more related to 18 compared to 18 and 16 and 20 respectively. Why there is a difference? This difference is due to the boundary limit. In case of crisp set, that is following the Boolean logic, an element which is inside the boundary is of complete membership. The membership is unity. If an element, that is B in this case, it lies outside the boundary, that its membership value is 0. If we apply the same concept in the fuzzy case, that is second condition, another element C which is lying in between, because boundary is fuzzy, it depends on person to person. If an element lies in a boundary, its membership value will be in between. It cannot be 1 or it cannot be 0, it can be anything in between. Now some of the applications of fuzzy set or fuzzy sets theory is fuzzy in photocopy machines, adjusted drum voltage based picture density, humidity and temperature. If the temperature can vary, the photocopy machines apply different voltages to take the photocopy if the humidity is different. Similarly, fast track decision making in courts from the previous decision making data, the fuzzy logic uses previous data to solve current problems. So these are some of the applications of the fuzzy set, and where we can apply, where the problem is statements are partial, a matter of degree, imprecise information is there, linguistic information is there, perception based information is there. Thanking you.